We are gathered here today to help a suicidal surgeon, or it could be a health professional who works in the OR in the surgery department, who has written me a post on one of my blogs, a comment. I'm going to pull it up and just read it. I got this yesterday, right before boarding a plane, and it says, I've been in healthcare my entire life, surgical services, because I spoke up against wrongdoing, stood up for myself. I'm out of a job and can't get a job anywhere now. I'm 60 now. I don't know what to do. I've had a hard life and I buried all the pain and work. Now, alone and nothing but time on my hands, all of it has surfaced. I've been thinking about ending my life every single day for a long time. Some nights the urge is very strong. I cry myself to sleep almost daily, every day. I don't want to live anymore. There's no reason to. I just exist, serving everyone but myself over 25 years. I have been single for 24 years, raised 4 kids by myself, took care of mom when she passed, then dad for 7 years. Before he passed, I lost one son to an overdose. I'm so alone, I can't take it anymore. God knows. I'm sorry for my weakness. I can't pick myself up anymore. Nothing is working and my career is over. Then I had a layover at an airport on the way home, and another comment came in 30 minutes after the first one. This is from an anonymous person, so I can't respond directly, which is why we're making this video to help Anonymous, who further wrote, after reading what I wrote, it just sounds like a pity party for myself, but why does it feel so overwhelmingly strong? Why is the belief and the rationalization of ending my life so present in my mind every single day? And some days so strong, the pain has become so overwhelming that taking a knife or fork and scraping my arms helps relieve some of it. The pain of my life has overcome all faith, strength I once had. We have 3 guests from our peer support group. We have a group of doctors who are determined to help other doctors not die by suicide and help other medical professionals, even medical students, nursing students, anyone in the health professions who is suicidal. Of course, we don't want anyone to die by suicide, but we do have a lot of expertise in our group about helping individuals who are struggling. So I'm just going to turn this over. Maybe we'll have A. You want to share? Like, what resonates with you in what I just read? What advice would you give this person who's out there struggling?
Thank you for having me, Pamela, and hello to everybody here. I had the privilege of reading the post that Pamela shared with us from Anonymous. What really resonated with me, and I'm sure with everyone, and I'm reading from the post, is that you had to take care of your family members, and you took care of your mom when she passed, and for your father for 7 years before he passed, and you lost a son to an overdose. The reason that that resonated with me so strongly is because I have also had a similar experience in my family. I'm a physician. I've also been investigated, prosecuted. The loss in my family dramatically really outweighed the loss in my professional life, though the two at the time, they seemed to be equal in terms of the loss. Surely today, when I look back, it was very difficult for me to reconcile the loss in my family. And I lost 2 siblings and both my parents to mental illness and to suicide. And I understand that once that happens to you, it's almost impossible to make sense of it, to find a way to go forward. And I want you to know that despite the enormity of the loss, I can feel the acute pain that you're suffering. There is a deeper understanding and a meaning for you because you were able to share that with us. I believe that you wanted to seek some sort of help, maybe to understand how to deal with your pain and how to move forward. I hope that you can join us and discuss some of these tragic events, as difficult as it might be. If you can, I think what you'll see is that each one of us in our own way has suffered deep and tragic loss. But what we've all come to understand is that joining together, bringing all of this out into the light, what we can do is we can help each other deal with the pain and move forward. And then once again, contribute to safety and healing of other people that are also going through this. All of us can kind of bring ourselves back up. It took me a while to do that. But today I feel like I can help you understand your unique loss and pain and then find meaning again. So if that helps you, I would be very happy to share again in another setting with Pamela and anonymously in a safe setting what we can do to help you to overcome and then to find true healing and acceptance to move forward. So please, if you do hear this message, please join us. Thank you for sharing your pain and your loss. I look forward to speaking with you if you can join us. Thank you.
Beautiful message of love and support to our mysterious peer in medicine and the medical profession. And I wanted to clarify one thing that you said. For those of you who don't know, this gentleman, he lost his career by getting caught up in an insurance scam and then losing like his medical license and even having to go to prison. And what he's bringing out in the comments he just made is the personal loss from losing family members can be so much more painful than even the career loss. But then the career loss, as pointed out in your message, when it's something that you spent your whole life developing these very specific skills to help people in an OR setting, like that loss is extremely painful as well. And before I introduce our next guest who would like to directly speak to you, and this is not just for the person who's suffering who wrote me, there are a lot of people out in the world in medicine, even outside of medicine, who are struggling with the thoughts of suicide. And our message today is for anyone to listen to. If you can pick up a tip, a hint, something that resonates with you from either me or our two other speakers today who are sharing. We are all physicians, and we want to help you survive whatever dark night of the soul you find yourselves in. I just wanted to say, since I was on a plane in between getting the first message and then the second message, I made a list, which I just want to read the list of items that I felt like you were struggling with in your notes to me, the two notes. And I'm so glad you wrote the second one. It made me feel like you really want to engage deeper on this topic and understand the psychology of why you might be feeling this way. And I've been running a suicide helpline for physicians for like now into my 13th year. So I have a very deep understanding of why medical professionals can get to the dark night of the soul moment. And I just want to sort of list these with maybe a little explanation of each one. And then I'm going to hand this over to Mandy, who is a surgeon who I think has the greatest deal of expertise in the realm of why somebody would feel such a deep loss in that career when facing, and I'll just list, you faced whistleblower retaliation. You literally stood up for what was right, either for yourself or yourself and a patient, and you found yourself in a hostile environment without a job, and that really sucks. That's wrong, and you should have been protected, and whatever you brought to the surface should have been dealt with so that future medical professionals and patients would not suffer in your institution. So I just want to say that was wrong, and you should have never been treated that way. Number two, you have a career identity loss. You obviously threw yourself in to this career, became very highly skilled. Possibly you're a perfectionist like many of us are. And so it's intolerable to see things that are harmful for patients when we take an oath to help people. So our whole career can become our identity, especially when your kids are grown out of the nest and you've lost your parents. I mean, to feel like you're unemployable when you have such great wisdom and skill, which is the third item, being unemployable as a surgeon or a surgical professional. Number four is the trauma inspired career. I think this is really important for people to know. A lot of people pursue medicine or medical specialties or helping others because they've been injured themselves as children. And whether that's because you've had mental health issues in parents or you've had physical health issues in yourself, usually there's some sort of a trauma response that leads you to spend the rest of your life helping and healing others, which can then become almost like Number five, a workaholic coping strategy. We throw everything into work, and that prevents us from really hyper focusing in on sort of our deeper wounds. And then when your work is taken away from you rather suddenly in a very unfair and unethical way, you now are in a state of feeling bored, possibly just sitting at home. And now you're flooded with all sorts of memories that previously were shielded from you. And this can be very uncomfortable on top of the loss of your career. And number seven, the personal life loss and grief that you obviously feel from losing your beloved son. I don't know how many times or if you were married before, but you have four children. Obviously, there's somebody else involved in that was a partner of yours that you are no longer with, and the sadness of losing that partner, having a child that is now deceased, and then your parents. I just want to reiterate how profound a loss that is. And I want us to be able to give you some peer support, even virtually through this video. The loneliness you must feel is just so isolating and actually very deadly. It's the loneliness that actually leads to suicides and other deep mental health issues in people, which is why we want to be here, even again, virtually, to give support to anyone out there who's lonely. You are not alone. We are here, having experienced many of these things ourselves, and we want to help you. The other thing, number nine, non-reciprocal relationships. This is really common with people pleasers, people with high empathy, people who go into medicine. We give everything to everyone else, and then we don't really have the reciprocal relationships where we're refilled, we're depleted by the needs of others because we place ourselves in these caregiver roles like chronically for a lifetime. This isn't just a temporary caregiver role. We are a caregiver over our lifetime, and then we end up feeling really isolated and nobody cares for us. And I just want to say, we care for you. We are here for you. Every Sunday we meet. Like, you can contact me anytime anonymously. I would love your phone number, but you don't have to reveal your name. You could write me. It would be right now. I just have what is that? You put anonymous at nowhere.com. I just want you to know you can remain anonymous, but you don't have to remain nowhere. You don't have to remain isolated. You can be with us. We're really sweet people. You'll see. And then obviously you're feeling a lack of self-compassion. It really hit my heart when you said, I feel like what I just wrote was a pity party. Oh my gosh. No, you totally deserve love and compassion from others and from yourself. You are not throwing a pity party. You have had real loss, real grief, and you're really minimizing the state of grief that you're in. And we want to help you with that. And my last point is the surgical cutting. Sometimes by cutting, you need to see physically your pain on your body. And as a surgical professional, that's probably something that's very close to your heart because you've been in ORs, you've been in cutting scenes, and so now you're cutting yourself. And it's just a way for you to feel the pain physically. But please do not make a lethal cut. Please contact us. And I want to hand this over to Mandy, who is a very beautiful woman and a surgeon, and she has a lot of insight into this. And so, Mandy, what would you like to say after reading? I actually called Mandy from the airport on my layover and read this to her because I was so wanting to help you, but I couldn't reach out to you. You didn't leave your number. I don't have your email. So I just called Mandy to just like talk to her about how we could possibly help you. We came up with this idea of maybe just talking to you through video. We hope you watch this. Mandy, what do you think?
First of all, I wanted to say to this person that what you're seeing here is some just genuine love. We get to visit with each other every week, and we've gone through some struggles that we've all had, and that friends of ours that join us on Sundays have had, and it's so healing to not be alone. And so I just want to extend the offer, like my other friends here have said, to join us because it's so helpful that we can explore and experience and relieve ourselves of these painful experiences and these painful thoughts. I have read through your note and it really hit me hard because I it resonates with me. I also have experienced that whistleblower experience where you stand up for something that's done wrong in the surgical space, whether it's in the operating room or, I'm not sure if you're a physician or if you are a nurse or a scrub tech or an orderly, but you're obviously, in the surgical field, and that's a very high stakes area where a lot's going on and it's very pressurized. And we essentially live in a tunnel in our world there. And it can be very emotionally challenging. And then when you see something that's either harming a patient that we're working on or potentially harming each other, and you're so bold as to stand up and say, hey, this is wrong, we need to change it. It's so confusing and frustrating that then you are the one that has to deal with the repercussions, that you are the one who is fired or let go or removed from the position. There's so much betrayal in that, there's so much isolation in that, that no one ever really talks about, and there's certainly uh, not much support. At least I didn't feel that I had much support when I was experiencing that. And that's very heavy, and it takes a long time to heal from that, if you even understand how to heal from that. I'm glad that you're able to put some of your frustrations and past trials and tribulations on paper, or on the computer, because I think that that's a way that you're being able to get it out of your brain, and onto a hard surface, so to speak, so that it doesn't have to stay with you. I also like the fact that you list all the beautiful things that you've done. I'm not sure that you had that positive aspect of it in your mind when you wrote them, but when I read them, I saw someone who's strong. I saw someone who's caring. You raised 4 children. That's beautiful. The loss of your son, I cannot imagine. I know you loved him, and his life certainly touched a lot of people. And I hope you have beautiful memories to look back on. And I think that the fact that you helped your parents, that's so noble. It's so caring. It's so gentle. I know all of these things had taxing aspects to them, but I invite you to look at the strength that you demonstrated in doing all of these things and surviving all of these things and thriving beyond, and see that you are meant for more. That time frame where you don't have employment, that I understand all too well. I've had different years where had stood up for problems and had lost my job temporarily. And the struggle of trying to find a new job is very, very difficult, especially when you feel like you're having to give reasons behind why you weren't employed. And that can be completely arduous. But I also know that there's this concept of being able to pivot. And I wonder if that might be something that you could consider. I love that you're still breathing. I love that you're still processing things. I love that you're getting things out of your brain and onto paper or online. Maybe open yourself up to something new. I don't know if you noticed this, but you just getting this out of your brain and onto the screen has given yourself a voice. It's given it's given a voice to yourself, to your story, to your pain, and you're not alone. That blog alone is full of people in pain that have gone through so many different trials. And we, as a group, we've gone through so much pain. And the fact that you're still breathing and hopefully watching this and typing, that is a sign that you have a story that someone else could heal from as well as yourself, listening to your own story and seeing your strength there. I invite you to join us. I invite you to consider that we all already feel like we want to be a part of your lives, and that you're not a part of your life, and that you're not alone. Please keep breathing, please keep typing, and please join us on Sunday. We want to see how our love could help you and you can help others. It's a relationship waiting to happen.
Oh, Mandy, that's so beautiful. And I love what you said. And you look gorgeous, by the way. The lighting, very nice. You look like you're a portrait. Okay, back to what's going on here. I just want to say that it's all about reframing what you're going through as I know this sounds like so crazy, but your worst day could be the best day of your life. Like when you reframe your pain, you now have more wisdom and you're available to help others, just like we are. If you think about why are we all here, we have all gone through the dark night of our soul moments where we thought maybe we shouldn't be alive, and we're still here. And what we've learned, or we've been around other people and we've lost colleagues who are no longer here, no longer breathing, and we don't want to read any more obituaries. We really don't want to read obituaries of the ethical, loving empaths that are dying in droves. This can stop. This can stop when we come together. And the thing is, the reason why I feel like we're not able to stop this is we haven't come together in a safe place. Sometimes coming together, as you noticed in the workplace, when you bring up a problem, you can get retaliation or punishment instead of being honored, loved, respected, and supported, which is why, it's good to come together with people who are trustworthy, who understand what you've been through, but they're not your direct colleagues. That would be like us, for example. We're in all different parts of the US. We probably don't even know you. You've maybe never seen us before. We're the perfect people who want to support you and totally non-judgmental, right? I just want to say how powerful it is when you feel like you lose your career. And it is a feeling that you've lost. You can always come back. There are so many ways you can contribute. I just want to say, like, I know doctors, including myself. I don't even have a medical license anymore. I retired. I feel like I'm more effective than ever helping more people. So believe me, there are ways that you can use your skills inside and outside the OR in the future. And I just want to encourage you not to give up. And I want to say that I understand how painful it is. I went through 6 jobs in 10 years. I've been unemployed a number of times and it is really hard. But like, I'm an example of somebody that bounced back and like Mandy, like got back into the game and you can too. I think we don't really understand where a lot of our pain comes from, and it comes from our childhood. And a lot of us had really deep struggles in childhood that led to this career. And so I just want to say, we want to wrap our hands around the little version of you and let you know that it's okay and you're safe. And a lot of this is like going back and healing that little version of ourselves and helping them make their way through the world as like an actual integrated whole human adult who's supported and loved by their peers. And you deserve that. And I don't want you to leave this earth prematurely without experiencing it, because it's a great joy to be a whole human adult who has love and and um and so I feel like, yeah, you deserve support from your grief, from your loss. And we want to be in a relationship with you that is truly reciprocal. You might not have ever had one before, where people are just here for you and you can trust us. And we're not here to get anything from you or generate revenue from you or do any. We just want you to be a guest and come, and we'll support you. Maybe next Sunday you'll join us. We're here every Sunday at 1 p.m. Pacific time. This is just kind of we wanted to just create this special video just for you and anyone else who's suffering in the medical profession, to please just let you know that you deserve compassion. We want to help you have compassion for yourself, and we want to give you a large dose of compassion that you've probably never felt from your peers, at least in the dose that we have to deliver it.
You, Pamela, and Mandy said it so well. We are all in this together. We really share and feel very close to all the pain you've experienced. We want you to reach out to us, and we know that we may not have all the answers. That we'd like to start a conversation with you, and let's begin a discussion about all of the things that we all know were so terrible and tragic. But let's share that, and then hopefully through that discussion we can turn the page and we can see what might be possible in the future and what we can all contribute and help one another with. And I really look forward to that, and I hope that you join us. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And Mandy, do you want to say anything in closing, a parting word for our new friend who we hopefully will meet soon?
Oh, you're not alone. You're not alone. Keep breathing. Go outside, take some deep breaths, look at the sky, stretch your limbs, get some blood flowing, maybe do a couple of jumping jacks, get some dopamine, serotonin. This is nature's antidepressant. Take a big glass of water and reach out to us. We're ready to help.
This is our fun little tribe here, all ready to help anyone who's a medical professional that wants to be understood for the pain of what they've seen in the OR. I also want to say, like, all the things you've seen in the OR, it's very important to not just keep that in your body as a stored memory or experience that needs to be released in a group of people that can understand what these OR scenes are like. I'm not somebody like that, but Mandy is, and our other guest here today, he's an anesthesiologist. So I think you're going to find some camaraderie that you've been looking for a really long time, and we can't wait to meet you. And please just reach out to Pamela Weibel. That's me. Pamela Weibel, like Bible, idealmedicalcare.org. We are here to ideally give you the care that you've always wanted in your life from your peers. God bless you. Please keep breathing.